Hey guys, I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com, and we're at Winter NAMM 2014 at the Santa Cruz Guitars booth. We've got Richard Hoover, the man here, and we've got Scott Law on guitar. Scott has a new signature model. We'll have Richard tell about it a little bit, then talk to Scott.
Thanks. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
This
So quiet down here. It's awesome.
this is a little oasis of sanity in the NAMM show. It is. A lot of people come here to hang out, just to rest their brains. So Scott represents really what we do. We build guitars for people. 70% of what we do is custom. And with Scott, he's looking for a particular sound and pretty well-defined EQ, tone, balance, projection is instrument, and that's our specialty, to be able to control those things. So this is a co-design with me and Scott to develop this guitar specifically for what he does.
Scott, when you came to Richard and said, and you guys were going to do this project, what did you want and what did you say? Like, can you expound on what he just said?
Yeah, I play. I wanted something that was first loud. I actually wanted something that was loud, that was had a clear, punchy bass. That didn't overload like they can sometimes with maybe sometimes a rosewood guitar. So we chose mahogany, and but I also wanted it to be clear and kind of round, higher up, because I play all over the neck. I play a lot of bluegrass. I play with a lot of fiddlers and banjos and mandolins, and so I wanted something that would kind of cut through. And it's not all bluegrass, actually. A lot of it is sort of progressive string music, so it requires soloing in all areas of the instrument. So I just kind of wanted something that would maybe not have, maybe be a combination of a couple of classic sound pictures in my mind of, classic dreadnoughts. So.
Well, anything else you want to say, or should we hear it now?
Oh, well, let's do that. Just a quick one. Thanks for this opportunity. We stand on the shoulders of giants in what we do in the violin tradition, where those guys took those nuances seriously. So it takes a lot of time, it costs a lot of money, but if somebody wants to get something they can't find, we're the guys.
Yeah, you obviously have a huge reputation, well-deserved. Actually, before we have Scott play a little bit more, let's talk a little bit. You said it's got mahogany back and sides, but it's Sitka spruce top, or?
No, actually, it's Italian spruce. And, it's funny that Richard was mentioning violin builders, because it comes from the same area of the world that, that wood was harvested and has been harvested for building the finest violins you've heard of.
Now, Richard, we guitarists can get pretty geeky on stuff like that, but
Yeah.
Explain, is when you choose like Italian spruce over Sitka or other types, is it more of an homage, or do you feel there's actually an actual quantifiable difference sound-wise?
Yeah, absolutely. If we take out the better or worse and talk about different, it's like flavors in a recipe or colors on an artist's palette. By working with different densities of wood, we can change the tone. Some myth busting: wood does not affect the EQ, bass versus treble. That's how it's manipulated. But the wood itself gives a bright or dark quality to the sound. And this particular stuff is powerful. The old Italian masters used that not only because it was in their backyard, but it was the stuff.
So how would you contrast it with other spruces you might have used?
The Italian spruce is particularly dense. It's bright, clear, and for Scott's playing, he needed to get away from that tubby, woofy dreadnought sound and get some stuff for single-line lead, and you can really hear notes clearly. And the Italian really gives that contribution. Sitka spruce, which we're really familiar with, is more warm, more blended, good for vocal accompaniment, but not specifically solo work.
So this allows more articulation.
That's exactly right. You can hear more of his intent with that.
Okay. Let's hear some. nice, Scott. I dig the little slides you do. We forgot to ask, or I did, about is it an ebony fretboard?
All the woods in this are responsibly harvested, which is a beautiful thing. We don't have to compromise to get the best stuff. So ebony fretboard, bridge, mahogany body, neck, Italian spruce top, and that's the spices in this that give it its sound.
It's got a very subtle, elegant look to it aesthetically, not gaudy, but very tasty.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's what we were going for. I mean, I thought, in the back of my mind, having had standard sort of natural top finishes, I thought, it'd be cool to have a burst. And these guys do amazing bursts, as you can see on the wall here. And the other thing that's interesting about this guitar, and part of the discussion to achieve this, besides the ingredients of the wood, is the bracing pattern. And it's got a hybrid bracing. We're calling it hybrid bracing, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, it's bracing is really like the sliders on a graphic equalizer. You can use them to manipulate the volume, bass, treble in relation to the mid-range, and that's actually the easiest thing to do in guitar making for somebody.
So is it like a modified cross bracing or X bracing?
Yeah, X bracing is a sound that we're all used to. You vary from that too much, and the guitar sounds starting a little alien. But within that, we can make a big, boomy, traditional, bassy guitar. But more and more people need to express themselves. It's been a long time since the dreadnought guitar was a rhythm instrument in a band. In the hands of people like Scott, it's the voice. It's the nuance, the story.
All right, very cool. Now, last ingredient are those Waverly tuners?
No, those are made for us by Goto in Japan to our specifications. Waverly, those guys are my dear friends. I love what they do. And I'm going to stop right there.
Good idea, sweet. Where can people go to find out about your music, Scott?
Probably the best place is my website, which is www.scottlawmusic.com. 2 T's.
Sweet. ScottLawMusic.com. Richard, where can people go to find out more about this guitar and all the others?
SantaCruzGuitar.com.
Sweet.
We can remember that.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Sean Hammond for PremierGuitar.com. Thanks for watching.